All right. So the Russo brothers, they're on Netflix now, and they spent $200 million on this film, which is baffling. This is mind blowing. I was like, $200 million in this film? Like, a lot of that had to just be paychecks, if we're being honest. Like, there's no way they spent $200 million on the film. That cannot be true. There has to be like a chunk of that has to be like Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas and Billy Bob Thornton. And I don't know why we're paying Reggie Page a lot of money right now, but probably dude got a couple mil probably for this, even though he's really only done Bridgerton. So anyway, this is I'm John Stark from movieguy.com, and this is my review of The Gray Man. Yeah, I'm a blind film critic, so $200 million was wasted on me because I didn't. I just heard all of that in the audio description done by Bill Larson, and I mean, it was fine. I was like, oh, this is the dude doing Resident Evil right now. Like, I recognized the voice. I was like, yes, Resident Evil guy. Um, yeah, the action sequences are fine. I think the movie is trying to be snarkier than it necessarily needs to be. It's this weird spy thing where he gets recruited, and Ryan Gosling gets recruited out of jail by Billy Bob Thornton, and he is made this agent that's essentially expendable. He's given the number 6, and I'm like, of course it's 6. Why wouldn't it be 6? You know, Netflix loves 6. They had 6 Underground, and 6 is one away from 7, so they can make a 007 joke later on in the film, which they totally did. Like, some of it was just so predictable that I I think the Russo brothers probably directed this really well. I just don't think they wrote it very well. I liked Ana de Armas in this film more than I did in No Time to Die, which I know is like blasphemous because I've heard the exact opposite from virtually every single critic. Every single critic like thought she stole No Time to Die. I did not think she stole No Time to Die. I do think she's good in this though. So, weird. Chris Evans, like everybody's going ape shit for his performance. You know what? He doesn't really do anything. He just kind of is a jackass for most of the film, and then he has like a couple fight sequences towards the end, but most of the time he's just like saying like jokey things to Ryan Gosling or just being stupid and trying to be threatening, but he's so like he doesn't even come off as threatening because he's so smarmy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, this guy. You remember in Mission Impossible when we brought in Superman into the film, and he had the mustache and everything, and I felt like this was like some sort of commentary on that, because all they did was slap. He just slapped a mustache on him, on Chris Evans, and they were like, no, he's the new guy, right? And he's just gonna be a jackass now. And it's like, you can't just put a mustache on somebody who always plays a hero and suddenly they're the bad guy. You know, you have to earn it. You can't you can't just suddenly. Anyway, it was just goofy. I didn't really care for this film. I thought Ryan Gosling did fine. He actually kind of handles the film well. Billy Bob Thornton does fine. It's just kind of a Billy Bob Thornton role. It was easy. Reggie Page is I just like barely in this film, but I don't know. It's a fine role. He does an American accent, so we all get to hear what that's like. There's some interesting things that happen here with regards to a subplot with a girl that happens to have a pacemaker and how that helps play the film out. They use a castle for some reason. It was so bizarre when they were using it. I was like, why are they using a castle in this film? I just did not understand how they got this castle, why they acquired it. It must have just been because Netflix was like, yeah, we'll give you $200 million. And the Russo brothers were like, dude, how do we spend this money? Well, we rent a castle. And it's like, that's how we're spending $200 million. They don't even think about it. They just do things. They didn't need the castle. There was nothing about the castle that they specifically needed. There's a castle in the film as a location because, Yeah, this is it's kind of a fun movie. It can be at times when it allows itself to be, but sometimes it's too wink wink nudge nudge, and it thinks it's like smarter than it actually is. Like that's its biggest problem, is that the Russo brothers are so used to winning that they just assume that they win all the time, and they're like, "Oh, well, everything we do is magic." Not really true. Not everything that you do is magic. You actually have to put the work in. You can't just touch something and make it gold. Um, there is a reason why people, actually take the time and energy and put things into these films. But anyway, this is just another slightly disappointing, massive budget release from Netflix. They do much better with like mid-budget films, and when they're not trying so hard. They need to stop throwing money at people. Stop giving people like $200 million. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry. It didn't do anything for you with any of your other gigantic blockbuster movies. I guess The Adam Project was the best one so far, but like Bright is terrible. I mean, there's some really bad films out there. So, yeah, just stop giving everybody $200 million so they can keep making just iffy action, big budget films that they would not make their budget back if they were released theatrically. This would not make, I'm sorry, this would be lucky to cross the 100 million mark. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. I don't know what else to say. I like Ryan Gosling. I like Ana de Armas, Billy Bob Thornton. So Chris Evans was just. Some people loved his role. He just lost me. They don't do anything with him until the end of the film. Really, he doesn't get to fight. He's supposed to be this badass, and he barely fights in the film. He just makes other people do it for him. I'm like, whatever. This is an action film. Okay, whatever. And they just like, I don't know if his performance is just meant to make fun of Henry Cavill or not. Like Superman becoming a villain. It's just, anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give The Gray Man a C+. So that's where I feel like this film is at. Let me know what you think in the comments. Throw a like and a subscribe. MacMovieGuy.com is my website. The Audio Description Project is another website. And the theAdna.org is an even more website-y thing that you can go to. That's it for me today. And I will be doing more reviews. So check them out.